We've managed to get our hands on China's most expensive F1 ticket, and we're about to see exactly what it gets you.
The Shanghai Grand Prix is known for doing things very differently, and it's a race that only got reintroduced 12 months ago after it was abruptly shut down.
The 2023 Chinese Grand Prix will not take place.
This ticket would usually cost over $15,000, so we're here to find out if it's as life-changing as the price would suggest.
Let's find out.
I cannot quite believe I am saying these words, but we are on our way to the Paddock Club on race day here in China. How do you feel?
I'm very excited.
We've just left the metro, we're following the signs, and I have no idea how you actually get there, so bear with me.
So that is the main stand over there, but we're actually going behind that. So I think we have to walk all the way through this car park to get there. It feels like Christmas. That's the feeling that I get today.
Paddock Club shuttle. So in order to get from the car park to the paddock, we have to get a ride in a Mercedes Sprinter van. And these things look luxurious and very plush. We've got assigned a car. Right, get in. This Sprinter van has a marble floor.
Whilst we're getting shuttled over to the paddock, let's tell you about how we got these tickets, because we have got some explaining to do.
If you've watched our channel for a while, you'll know that before we headed to the Las Vegas Grand Prix, we DM'd every F1 driver asking for a free paddock pass. We've actually managed to find Logan Sargent's manager's number.
Hello?
And by some sort of miracle, we got a response.
I have just received a message and it says, how would you both like to join us in the paddock all 3 days?
We obviously documented F1's newest and most luxurious paddock in Las Vegas, and it became our most watched YouTube video ever. Luckily, Heineken liked the video we made, and when they found out we were going to be in China for the F1, they offered us another Paddock Club ticket. Just like last time, we're not obliged to post this video about our time in the Chinese paddock, but quite frankly, this day was so wild, why would we not share it?
We made it.
We have made it to the paddock and it is looking majestic up there. It's very different from any other paddock on the F1 calendar, not only because of its size, but also the actual layout of the thing. So I'm looking forward to heading inside, exploring every nook and cranny of it. There will be no stone unturned in this paddock by the time we are finished with it, because I've heard there are some pretty sweet things to do and some optional extras.
It's overwhelming. The main start and finish of the track is just behind us, and these stands here overlook that, but we're on the opposite side. This is also the end of the pit lane, so before we've even got into the paddock, we've got a pretty good view. We're within touching distance of the track, even from here, and we've not even stepped foot inside yet.
This behind me is the paddock map, and for us, this is extremely important because these places are like a maze, and if you don't have your eye on the prize, you could miss something. So we're going to study this and we're going to make sure we go to every single section. But before we go any further, I feel like I need to explain what a paddock is, what you do here, and why is the Chinese one different and so special, because it is special. This paddock is made up of 4 floors, from pit lane to Skybridge, a very unique feature of the Chinese Grand Prix. Inside there's a series of lounges for each F1 team and for each main sponsor. Our tickets get us access to everything and some hidden extras.
And we're in. It is that easy. I reckon from arriving outside to stepping foot inside, it took maybe 5 minutes.
So we're now in the first lounge of the paddock. As you enter, you have an array of drinks waiting for you. Champagne, Whispering Angel, beer, water, orange juice. And also in this lounge, you've got all the coverage of the races. So there's loads of TVs knocking around and you can hear the commentary from in here, importantly. But then there's also a viewing terrace, which we'll show you now. This is the coolest bit, the terrace with a view of the pit lane. You can't get much closer to the track without being in one of the teams.
The F1 Academy are currently racing and I'm in prime position here to get a video of when they go past. So the F1 Academy is new, it was introduced last year and it is the all... Oh wait, this is the... Wait! That is so cool. And the reason that that is so cool is because it's the all-female drivers. As of this year, every F1 team has to sponsor a driver in the hopes that one day, one or some of them may take a seat in F1.
The first woman F1 driver is the future, but the here and now is a paddock club full to the brim with life-changing moments.
This is me about to touch the track in Shanghai.
The day just keeps getting better and better, so life-changing moment is incoming. I don't know what it is, but I'm excited. And that's partly because the paddock is full of surprises and partly down to being extra vigilant. I've just spotted something that I'm very intrigued by. Some people have stood directly next to the track. It's literally right on the exit of the pit. I'm gonna see if I can get down there, because that would be an unbelievable place to watch the race. Each life-changing moment gets crazier as the day goes on, and some are more realistic than others. But one ambitious dream is I want to take a piece of the track home with me, like a memento. I'm not sure if it's stealing, I'm not sure if you're allowed to do this, but nothing is impossible. So we'll see how we go. I might not be able to do that one, but you know, I can dream. This is already looking like a pretty decent place to watch Formula One, but it's only going to get better from here, and we're now going to go and explore our home for the day. We wouldn't be able to do this without the kindness and the generosity of Heineken, probably the best beer in the world. So let's go and explore our new Heineken home for the day. Thank you, appreciate that, cheers.
We've actually just been rushed into the lounge and we've been told that Max is on his way in here. Max Verstappen, and it's not even 10 a.m. yet.
I'm not sure it's actually healthy to have this many life-changing moments before 11 a.m. My dopamine is through the roof right now, and I can't believe I'm about to be this close to Max Verstappen. What question would you ask him if you got the chance?
What's his favourite Netflix show? Where does he like to go on holiday? Will he be world champion again this year? What does he think about Oscar Piastri?
Is Lando actually his best friend? Because I thought I was Lando's best friend.
How's it feel to be back in Shanghai?
I was enjoying being here.
Being this close to possibly the most gifted F1 driver in the history of the world was surreal and a little overwhelming. This is amazing. But not everyone in the room thought the same thing.
I think there's someone quite famous in this suite and he's being absolutely bombarded, more so than when Max came in. Obviously we've got no idea who they are, because they're from China.
But just when we thought things had peaked,
I love this place.
we were hit with another 2 waves of Red Bull action as Christian Horner entered the lounge, followed by Liam Lawson.
Firstly, we want to say a massive congratulations for your seat at Red Bull.
Being so close to the drivers made you realise that they're just normal people and probably no better at driving than the average Joe. So we've got the eSIM here, and Max has set the fastest lap on the scoreboard. You've got to try and beat 140.331, and apparently if you do beat him, you actually get the second Red Bull seat. That's how it works. 2 minutes 34. That's a minute slower than Max. Let's move on.
Another very interesting part about this room is that there are floor-to-ceiling windows. So you do have an amazing view of the track.
There's also loads of F1 memorabilia. Whoa, that is so light. This is the halo that protects the drivers if they, for any unfortunate reason, flip over. So this can save lives, but that is so light. I don't know if that's an actual one. I feel like that wouldn't actually do much, but obviously it does.
This is the reaction game that tests how fast the drivers' reactions are.
Jade got a score of 10.
It's really hard. Just that's not going in the video.
We have both been humbled today. The pressure of rubbing shoulders with the F1 elite had clearly put us off our game, but at least we had something to be proud of. We ticked off a hat-trick of life-changing moments before 11 a.m, and we weren't stopping there. We had a taste for it, and we wanted even more. But I am a little bit hungry, so maybe we get some food first. So the way that food works here is you come out of your lounge and then there is this kind of corridor of different food stands that are cooking food from scratch. So you can get things like pasta, you can get steak, there is a dessert stand.
The food is so good and there's so much choice.
I've gone for a pasta dish, and obviously I've had to go for some fillet steak, obviously. If someone offers you free fillet steak, you take it with both hands. So we're going to fuel up before we head on to the next stage of our journey in the paddock, because life-changing moments is extremely hungry work. After a quick refuel pit stop, we decided that we wanted to head to the most unique part of the paddock.
The Skybridge.
So to get to the place we want to get to next, we have to go in a lift. Thank you. I'm not sure how many racetracks have a viewing platform like this. The only other one I can think of is Abu Dhabi, which is nowhere near as high, which means that this is an extremely rare view of an F1 racetrack. I'm home, Daddy. We are now in an extremely iconic part of the Chinese Formula One circuit. The teardrop-shaped towers that you see that are famous, synonymous with this racetrack, we are inside it. So when you see that big Heineken Zero logo, I thought it was just a billboard. It is not. It is a window that has got branding on the outside of it. So we are inside it. We can actually see out onto the racetrack. And the view from this tower is insane. You can see so much of the track. No other paddock has the ability to see as much of the track from one vantage point. And you can actually have the cars go underneath you when they start on the grid. Every track should have that, but only China do have that. When inside the paddock, at certain points during the day, you'll receive random texts from the F1 paddock gods with cryptic messages. We've just got a text message saying, "Are you near the suite? Please come back." In these instances, you have to drop everything and you have to go where you're told. So life-changing moment is incoming. I don't know what it is, but I'm excited. Now. Yeah, now. Go, go, go. We've just been handed a lanyard that says VIP Tour, and we were told in no uncertain terms, drop whatever you're doing and go on this tour, because it is better than anything else you'll do today.
We don't really know what's happening. We've just been pulled out of the paddock. Oh wow, and we're about to go into cars.
Get in a car.
We can get in this car, yeah. We can take
Yeah?
up to 6 per car.
Okay. It says VIP circuit tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's where we're going.
Not a lot of people who get a lap around the track in a more private way.
In a crazy twist of events, the Sprinter van we just climbed into drove through a gap in the fence and straight onto the track. The driver explained that he was an XF3 driver as he threw it around the corners. It was pretty hard to get our heads around what was happening. So surreal, literally just on an F1 racetrack. But if driving around the track wasn't good enough, it got even better. They were not wrong when they said this was the best thing that we may do today. We just got driven around the Shanghai circuit in a Mercedes Sprinter van.
And our driver was going 50 miles an hour around the corners and I was getting thrown around in my seat. This is crazy. I actually am speechless. I didn't know what we were going to do, but this is not what I expected. We're stood on the track. This is me about to touch the track in Shanghai. Oh, it feels so good. It's overwhelming. I just feel so much closer to the boys right now.
I'm not sure I'm allowed to do this, but I have just got a piece of the track and I'm gonna take it with me. Should I ask someone or should I just take it? I'm just gonna take it. Ask for forgiveness, not permission. Straight in the pocket. No one saw that. I have a piece of the Shanghai circuit in my pocket. Yes, I got carried away and committed a felony in a country that has rather strict laws, but life-changing moments were flowing like water. I wasn't expecting this as part of the ticket, but this is why this is the most expensive ticket you can get for Formula One in China. But we were left wondering,
How will it get better?
well, this is how. The day just keeps getting better and better because part of these tickets, we have managed to get ourselves into the actual paddock. We're in the corporate hospitality section upstairs, but this is the actual paddock where the drivers, the mechanics, the strategists, the team principals, this is where they spend their race weekend. I'm a big fan of Ted's Notebook, and this is basically me doing my own Ted's Notebook. So this is actually the biggest paddock on the F1 calendar in terms of like the space and the length. The way that this paddock is ordered is that the teams that did the worst last year are at this end and the teams that did the best last year are up the other end. It's only the second year this race has actually come back because it was suspended for 4 years because of something was happening globally. This is Aston Martin's garage. I like Aston Martin's colour. Racing green, British racing green. I don't like the full kit. I don't like the green trousers. Is that just me? I don't know, I think it's a bit too much. You could break it up with another colour. The most popular team in China by head and shoulders is Ferrari. Who is your favourite Formula One driver?
Charles Leclerc. Handsome, so fast.
When you look at the grandstands, all you'll see is a sea of red. You'll see Charles Leclerc, you'll see Lewis Hamilton. This is the Ferrari team garage. Not many people get to be this close to the Ferrari team garage. All F1 drivers have an obligation to speak to the media before and after the race, and this is the pen, and this is where they come and do it. So all the media gather around here, and every driver has to come in here before and after the race to talk about how they're feeling, what they have for breakfast, what they're having for dinner, what their gym routine is, and who their celebrity crush is. They're the 5 questions they always get asked, and they have to answer them truthfully, otherwise they lose their seat. And then the final thing that is unique about this paddock is this tower up here. It's massive, and this is where the FIA sit and they look at all the racing cars as they go around the track, and they make sure they're adhering to all the rules. And that has been the paddock. That was nuts. Pretending to be Ted Kravitz was another life-changing moment in the bag. Ted, I'm coming for your job. And as we headed back inside, we saw crowds starting to gather. So of course, we went to investigate.
I don't know what's happening, it's very hectic.
We're heading on to the track, I think. And there's loads of like Chinese dancers and a dragon. What the hell is going on here? Wow. Is this where we're supposed to be? Okay, I am now officially on the track. This is so cool.
Wow.
At this point, we got ushered onto an open back truck with around 30 other people, one of which was the 1997 F1 Drivers' World Champion.
Jacques Villeneuve, everybody!
We were driven around the track, and all the way Jack was telling us about what the drivers would be thinking and feeling in each sector. We drove past the grass stands we were at earlier in the weekend, and the cheapest grandstand ticket available in Shanghai. As we drove around waving at the crowds, it really gave us a slice of what F1 drivers must feel like when they're doing their driver's parade. But all too quickly the experience came to a stop, which is where the next life-changing moment was waiting for us.
As if this activity couldn't get any better, we've got straight off the truck tour into the pit lane, and we were able to just walk the entire length of it. This is just so cool, but let's take a walk. These are the serious seats. A lot of work goes on here, and it's also what you see when you're watching the race on TV and they zoom into the team principals and the strategists. That's where they'll be sat. I've just seen Kim Illman in the wild photographing. It's basically an hour and a half now before the race starts, and it blows my mind that we're able to just freely walk down the pit lane. Surely this is such a busy time for the teams. You would imagine that they have got so much to do, but they've got this huge audience of people just walking down and watching. It's kind of crazy. I just can't imagine there being many sports where you get this level of access this close to a game. It's like being in Manchester United's dressing room an hour before the game is about to kick off. It just would not happen.
We are now outside the Red Bull garage. Should we see if we can get inside? See the cars? Okay, this is our moment. This is our moment. Thank you.
I want to play it quite cool and pretend that I'm not too fazed about the fact that the barrier just got lifted and we snuck in, but I can't because that was cool.
How are you feeling?
Overwhelmed. It actually is like a sensory overload because there is so much going on and so many things that I want to be looking at that I just don't know where to start.
This is the closest I'll get to being an F1 driver, and I'm lapping up every single second of it. This is just a whirlwind, mad experience. But the crazy thing is, we're not stopping there. We're going to go one better. So let's head back inside and see what else we can find. At this point, it was nearly time for the race to start, and we still needed to figure out where was the best place to watch the race. So it was back to the Skybridge to figure it out.
We're back where we were before all the chaos happened, and things are a little bit different up here now. It's busier, there's champagne. We have a feeling that this will be the best spot to watch the start of the race from, because there are some top secret hidden balconies that not many people know about. But before we show you those, should we give you a quick tour of this upstairs level?
This is the Constructors' Championship trophy. So it has the logo of each team that has won it over the years. So we've got Williams on here, Lotus, Ferrari, McLaren. 1958 is the earliest Constructors' Championship on this trophy. Van Wall. This is a piece of history.
This floor serves completely different food to the floor that we've just been on. It's got more of a street food style. So we're talking pizza, tacos, churros, ice cream, and lots of different drink stations as well. But the bit that we're interested in is outside.
If you look really closely at the Heineken Zero Skybridge, on each 4 sides, there is a balcony where you can go out and watch the race from. We've supposedly heard on the grapevine that not many people use the balconies to watch the race from. So we're thinking that might be the perfect place to watch the start. So we're about 20 minutes before the race starts, and currently there's 4 people up here, 3 people. This is one hell of a view.
At various points during today, I keep thinking to myself, how have we managed to get here? This is surreal.
And from up here, you really get a perspective of how busy it is. The grandstands are packed. F1 is extremely popular in China, I can tell you that. Okay, balcony number 2. This would actually give you a view of the start-finish line. Again, no one here. If you see in the distance over here, there's also a rooftop that we're gonna have to show you a little bit later on as well. It's a real conundrum. There are too many good vantage points to choose from in terms of where to watch the race start from. I need something to help me think. Thank you, sir, appreciate that.
Our strategy is that we will watch the race from this balcony here. As soon as they set off, we'll run to the balcony over there to get them going around the first few corners. And then I think we will run down to the other rooftop so that we can be closer to the garages.
Before we knew it, the Chinese national anthem had begun, and we were getting ready for another life-changing moment. Lights out, and away we go! Right, and now we run. We run to the other side. We run. Jade missed it.
I was so slow.
Jade missed it.
I ran as fast as I could, and I feel like I was walking in comparison.
We have watched the first 11 laps in this part of the paddock. We are now going to go downstairs and try and get closer to the pits because pit stops have just started.
We've also noticed that a lot of people have started coming in, so it feels like a good time for us to head out.
Earlier, I spotted a little area that is very close to the track, very close to the pit exit. That could be a super sweet vantage point. I'm not sure if we're allowed to go there, but we're going to go and try and go there now. We are currently the only people heading this direction, so it's basically out in the car park. I think we can go there. This is cool.
Yeah, how did you manage to spot this? From where?
This is probably the best view you're going to get of the F1 cars today.
I felt like we weren't supposed to be here and that someone was going to tell us to stop. I'm not joking.
This feels illegal.
I could have just touched that McLaren.
Nobody won't be able to hear this. We're so close. We are at the pit exit as all the pit stops happen, and the cars are literally meters behind us. This is wild. You would never normally be allowed to get this close. There is hardly anybody here, yet this is the best spot that you could possibly wish for. A couple people that way, couple people that way. The only issue with being down there, you hear the roars from the crowd, so you know something's happened, but you have no idea what's happened because there's no screen. After a successful side quest down by the track, we headed to the final undiscovered part of the paddock, the open rooftop.
This paddock club is full of secrets. There's so many hiding places and viewing spots that I don't think that you'd know about unless you properly explored like this.
At this point, we thought that watching the rest of the race from the rooftop, overlooking the pit lane, would be our final life-changing moment, but we were wrong. After soaking up the atmosphere from the crowd and the cars from the rooftop, we got another text message. Our final life-changing moment of the day was incoming, and they really had saved the best till last. Right, we're not messing around here. Okay, something crazy is happening. So far, we'd been rushed down the stairs, gathered in a corridor, and given some rather cryptic instructions. What's happening?
So when you go through this door, you go left, and you can run quickly and you'll get there.
All we had to do now was execute.
Look at my race.
The run starts now. Go, go, go! Let's go! I'm running down the pit lane. Heading to the podium. Do you like Lewis or Charles? Lewis or Charles?
Yeah, Lewis.
Tifosi.
Yeah.
The running paid off, and we were able to catch a glimpse of George Russell as he put on his branded watch, and Oscar and Lando give their post-race interviews. But more intriguing than that, we discovered McLaren's secret weapon.
They're handing out ice creams at McLaren, I'm guessing for all the crew. That's maybe the most fascinating piece of news I've heard all weekend.
But there you have it, life-changing moments at the Formula One in China. Is it what you expected? Because it's not what I expected. It was actually 10 times better than I could have ever dreamt of. Thank you for watching, please subscribe, and if you do, we'll go to loads more F1 races this year. See you in the next one.